Welcome to the Creative Hagja. In today's tutorial, we will create a flat design illustration of a computer setup. We will create a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse. Create a new document with the following properties on the screen. Grab the rounded rectangle tool and make a vertical rectangle. Go to the Tools panel and uncheck the single radius box. Set the bottom left and bottom right corners to 45%. Set the top left and top right corners at 25%. Create another rounded rectangle, a smaller one, on top of the first rectangle. Set the roundness to 40% in the corner section. Open the context toolbar. Grab the ellipse tool and place it in the center of the smaller rounded rectangle. Select both the ellipse and the rounded rectangle. Go to the Align panel. Select Align Center in the Align Horizontally section. Make a duplicate of the ellipse, pressing CTRL J, or right-click and press Duplicate. Go to the Layers panel and select the original ellipse. Make the original ellipse a darker shade. Select all of the mouse elements. Press CTRL G to group the elements together, or right-click and press Group. Press CTRL J to duplicate the mouse. Press CTRL SHIFT G to ungroup, or right-click on the mouse and select Ungroup. With all of the ungrouped elements selected, go to the Pathfinder panel and select Add. Give this new shape a darker shade. With the mouse shape selected, grab the Vector Crop tool. Grab the left side of the crop frame and move it to the center of the mouse. In the Layers panel, select the two ellipses and the smaller rounded rectangle. In the Layers panel, select the group and drag it on top of the crop section. Select all of the mouse elements and group them together by pressing CTRL G. Label the group mouse in the Layers panel. The mouse is complete. Let's move on to the keyboard. First, in the Layers panel, uncheck the mouse group. Grab the Rectangle tool and draw a rectangle. Go to the corner section in the context toolbar and select Rounded. Set the roundness to 15%. With the Rectangle tool, draw some squares straight across on top of the rectangle. Select all of the rectangles. Press CTRL SHIFT and drag another set of rectangles onto the next row. Select all of the rectangles on the second row and make them slightly bigger by dragging the bottom of the selection down. Select all of the second row of rectangles again. Press CTRL SHIFT and drag another set of rectangles to the third row. Do the same steps again and create a fourth row. Grab the Rectangle tool and create a spacebar beneath the fourth row of squares. Draw 4 smaller rectangles in the bottom right section of the keyboard to imitate the arrows. Select all of the keyboard elements. Press CTRL G to group everything together. Press CTRL J to make a duplicate of the keyboard. Press CTRL SHIFT G to ungroup the duplicate, or right-click on it and select Ungroup. Go to the Pathfinder panel and select Add. Select the Vector Crop tool on the Tools panel. and select the left side and move it to the halfway part of the keyboard. Make the cropped part a shade darker. Go to the Layers panel. Go to the keyboard group and select all the rectangles, the keyboard keys. You can do this quickly by selecting the first rectangle in the group, then scroll down to the rectangles just before the last rectangle and press Shift. Press CTRL plus J to group the selected rectangles together and label them keys. In the Layers panel, select the keys group and drag it on top of the cropped shape. Select all of the keyboard elements and group them together and label the group Keyboard. The keyboard is complete. Let's move on to the last object, which is the monitor. First, in the Layers panel, uncheck the keyboard group. Grab the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle. Make the corners rounded and set it to 5%. Make this rectangle black. Grab the rectangle tool and draw a small rectangle underneath the second rectangle for the neck of the monitor. Make another rectangle beneath the neck part of the monitor for the stand. Place a small rectangle over the top part of the monitor's neck and make it a few shades darker. Place a rectangle across the upper part of the monitor stand. Make it the same color as the rectangle you put as the monitor's neck. Select the monitor screen and press CTRL plus J to duplicate it. Press CTRL plus Shift and make this rectangle slightly smaller. Set the fill color of it to a lighter shade of black. Grab the ellipse tool to make the buttons for the monitor. Place a few ellipses on the lighter rectangle of the monitor. Add an ellipse in the center to act as a logo for the monitor. Select all of the monitor elements and group them together, pressing CTRL plus G, or right-click and press Group. Press CTRL plus J and make a duplicate of the monitor. Press CTRL plus Shift plus G to ungroup the duplicate, or right-click on it and select Ungroup. Go to the Pathfinder panel and select Add. Select the Vector Crop tool. Place the left side of the crop frame to the center of the monitor. Go to the Layers panel and set the opacity to 25%. Select all of the elements of the monitor and group them together. Name the group Monitor in the Layers panel. After completing the monitor, turn your keyboard and mouse group back on. Now, rearrange and resize each of the elements to create a PC setup. Note, when resizing your objects, hold Shift to keep the proportions of the objects. Draw a rectangle covering the whole artboard. Fill the rectangle with whatever background color/gradient you want to use. And send the rectangle to the back.